Welcome to Quail's Knitting Nest. My name is Joy, and I'm happy again to have Jackie here.
Hi, everybody. It's so good to be here again.
Yes.
It's nice to see you all.
It is. And Jackie and I went on a knitting retreat recently, which we're going to talk about at the end. So we are excited to share.
We had a good time. I was surprised. I was surprised, and we'll talk about that. We'll talk about that later.
We have lots to talk about. Yep. And this is beautiful. What is this?
This is BlueSand's Cardigan by Maison Rililie.
Okay.
And the yarn is no longer available.
Oh, what was it?
It was a Telta yarn, Truth, with blue, green, gray, and black.
It's pretty
And,
yarn.
Yeah, it's no longer
it's
available.
soft, too.
Yeah, and I love this pattern. See, I got my little pockets.
Oh, stand up and show that. Yeah, how cute.
I got my little pockets going on.
Aw, that's sweet.
Yeah, it's long, which I like
Oh,
too.
yeah. Covers up your tush.
Covers up your tush and keep
Yeah.
you nice and warm.
Yeah.
But the pattern has continuous
I see
shoulders.
that, yeah.
Yeah, and you could do, well, it gives you two constructions, continuous and raglan, just straight raglan.
Oh.
So you can determine how you want your top down to work.
That's interesting.
Yes,
Different.
it's different.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So you said you did the contiguous,
Mhm.
and it looks really nice. I like the shoulder shaping.
Yeah, I like the shoulder shaping too. I do. I like this. This is really
Now,
nice.
was the pattern also striped?
Yes.
And then
And
I see some of the stripes have
right. It's had a pattern like a texture pattern in here, but this is all according to the pattern.
Mm.
Even the bottom, the texture on the bottom, it's all according to the pattern. The only thing that's different is I added the stripe here. I don't think that's part of the pattern, but it might be.
Okay.
And I added my pockets have two-toned.
Yes,
That's all.
which is very
Which
cute.
is cute.
Yes, I like that.
That was it.
It's like a little pop.
Right.
Surprise!
It's yeah, and the pattern's great. It's very detailed. You know, it's like 20 pages, but it's perfect. You'll love it. So try it.
Yeah, it looks really comfortable.
And it is comfortable.
And warm and snuggly.
Especially for a day like today where you don't really need a a heavy coat or anything.
Mm-hmm. And you'll be afternoon. You'll be taking
it off.
Yeah, we're starting out in like the 50s, I think,
Yeah.
and it's supposed to be up in the mid 70s today.
Yeah.
So we'll be stripping off our woolens later.
Yeah, and some of us strip earlier than others. Those of us with experience understand what I'm talking about.
And this is the Zweig by Caitlin Hunter.
Oh, I have that in my queue.
Oh, do you?
Yes, I do.
I made this in 2018, so it's like 8 years old now.
Oh,
Well,
nice.
it's held up pretty well.
Yes.
I used Isager Highland fingering for
Okay.
this. Less than one ball for the white.
Really?
Yeah. And then 4 balls for the blue.
Oh, wow. Less than one for the white?
Yeah.
Wow.
Surprising, huh?
Yeah, it is. Nice.
Yep.
Can't wait. It's in my queue.
And this does have short row shaping at the neck, which you might be able to see a little bit. It's this wide in the front, and then it's wider in the back.
Oh, okay.
However, in spite of that, I still feel like
Yeah.
it's tight up
there.
against my neck, and I'm always pulling it down. And I also feel like the back neck is not high enough.
Ah.
So if I were to do this again, I might add a couple more short rows in the neck.
Well, you could just rip that out.
I could, but I'm not gonna. I live with it.
Okay.
Yeah. So show us something that you brought.
I bought a lot of stuff. Finished object. I think I have one back here. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. This is the Capture Cardigan by Alpha. And the only thing that's missing on this is the buttons.
Oh.
I misplaced them.
Oh, no.
So I'm gonna have to get some new buttons. I was getting some just plain blue buttons. If you look at my Ravelry page, you'll see them. I just kind of laid them there.
Oh, okay.
And now I don't know what I did with them. What's neat is the construction on the shoulder. It has a little design on it, on the shoulders, where you I don't know if you can see it, but there's slip stitches, like they're holes to give you more detail. So.
Oh, okay.
You actually drop your stitch. You drop it, and then you kind of, come all the way down.
Oh, and pull it out. Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. Okay. It's a raglan seam.
Yes.
And it's down along both sides
Both
of the
sides
raglan.
of the raglan. Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's a different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this is madelinetosh and Rowan Kidsilk.
Oh. I was gonna say it feels very
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah. I love Rowan Kidsilk.
It's very popular yarn.
I
And it's got
know.
like these puff sleeves.
Yes, they got really big puff sleeves. Yeah. I think if I do this again, I probably won't make them as puffy.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
But
it's
it's part of the design and it's
Yeah.
kind of cute. So yeah.
Nice.
I'm looking forward to finding my buttons or buying new buttons.
Oh.
So, because it's light enough to be, I can
Mhm.
wear it now.
You could be wearing it now.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
could be
this
wearing
is
it now.
perfect in between seasons.
Yeah.
Weight. Very light.
So, yeah, I really
Lovely.
like that. And it goes great with jeans.
Yes, perfect color.
Perfect color for jeans.
Yeah.
Oh, what else?
Well, I have another hexagon. for
Oh,
my
they are so
blanket.
pretty.
This is
Look
number
at them.
16. So 16
I love
down
them.
and 8 more to go. This
This
turned
one
out
is a
pretty
little
well.
different than the other
Mhm.
ones where there's usually a lot of color in the middle. Yeah. That's cute. Look at that.
Yeah, it's interesting how they're all turning out
The
differently.
print, yeah.
And now I'm to the point where I have to mix and match skeins. Before, I was using 2 skeins of the same color and then just starting in different places with the colorways.
Right.
So that they would contrast. But now I have mismatched skeins. So
Okay.
I'm starting with that. And so the colors are going to be different. We'll see. We'll see what that does with it. But this one turned out pretty nice. I like
Yeah,
that
I like
one.
that one.
And since this is I'm doing 4 each of 6 different patterns. So this is the 4th of this pattern.
Right.
So the next one will start not only different colorway, but also different pattern.
Oh, great. So how many more you have to do?
8.
Ah, just 8?
Yeah, I'm getting close.
Wow.
I'm getting there. Slowly but surely.
Have you decided how you're going to
I'm
finish
probably going to do 3 needle bind off
it?
because I want to have like a distinctive edging between the hexagons
Oh, that
to
would be
kind of
pretty.
make it
Yeah.
pop a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I think that's the way I'm leaning. Yeah.
And your border?
Border, I haven't decided yet. I'm not going to do the border that's in the pattern because it's like this much of seed stitch.
Oh.
All the way around. No, I'm not doing that. So I might just do like either an I-cord bind off
That would be pretty.
or some sort of applied edging
Okay.
so that I don't have to pick up all the way around the thing, which is what you're supposed to do in the pattern, pick up all the way around the thing. And I don't think I have a needle big enough to do that, long enough to do that with. So either an I-cord or some sort of applied edging, I think.
That would be pretty.
I'm going to play around with it and see what I like best. Maybe try just like the edge of one and see how it looks.
Yeah, and especially once you get the 3 needle bind off done, then you could see what that looks like compared to your border. Yeah.
And
That's
it might be that the I-cord works because the 3 needle bind off has that
same look.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's kind of the way I'm leaning at the moment.
Nice.
We'll see.
8 more to go.
Yep. This is April, so who knows? Maybe by Christmas. I don't know. We'll see. Depends how many I get done over the summer. But these are good summer projects because they're
I was
little.
going to say they're little and you could take them with you. They don't, take up a lot of space. Sort of like knitting a sock. Almost.
Yes. Although I couldn't take it to a place where I'm talking.
Yes. You need where they need your attention. You need to be somewhere where you can relax.
Like on vacation.
Yeah.
On
And
the
not be
porch.
bothered.
Or, yes. Yes.
On a cruise ship on the deck where nobody's talking, you know. Laid back.
All right, what do you have?
Let's see. I just finished this, which is the Vivari Delights, I think, by Marion Zilakou, Zilakou. I did this for an upcoming class on
Are we
lace.
holding this right?
Yes.
Okay.
On lace, because it has different lace, different lace patterns in it.
So each stripe
is a little different.
It's
and
a different color with a different texture.
Mm-hmm. And each, every so often you get a break where you're just doing garter.
Oh, I see. Mm-hmm.
Which is nice.
Yep.
But the pattern, the lace patterns are really simple. I think the most difficult one is the
orange one.
Is the orange one, which is like the fly tail. I think it's fly tail lace pattern, which might be a little difficult for new people doing lace. Mm-hmm. So I stuck in some eyelets so they could actually substitute that if they wanted to. Yeah.
And where is it you're teaching this?
I'm teaching this at Purls of Wisdom, but it's this coming Sunday.
Oh, so it's too late.
It's too late to enroll. But yeah, I might be teaching it again, so stay tuned. But this is just to give those that have never done lace an opportunity to, work with thinner yarn.
Yeah, and use some of their
leftovers,
their indie dyed,
that they have from their sweaters.
Yeah, it's a good scrap.
It's a good scrap. It is, and that's what I did. I used all my leftover fingering weight yarn, and
Very
I just
nice.
Changed every so often, and the pattern is built that way too, which is kind of nice. So you get to choose how big you want it, or how short you want it, how many times you do the ribbing, or how many times you do the lace. It's really up to you. So it's really good.
As you go.
As you go.
All right. Well, I finished a new scarf.
Oh, that's pretty. Look at that.
This pattern is called Entwined Stitches, and it's my own pattern. I had made another version of this a few years ago when I first wrote the pattern up, and that one was 4 inches wide, and I had always wished that it was a little bit wider. So this one is not quite 6 inches wide, so when I wrap it around my neck, see, it gives me good coverage. Good coverage. For those cold days. So it's double knit cables in 2 colors.
Nice.
And I used the light green is Utopia BFL.
Ah.
And the dark green is Utopia Ridge Sport.
Wow, that looks like a hand dyed.
They're a little bit, I don't think it's hand dyed. It might be kettle dyed.
Yeah, it's really nice. You could see the variation.
It's lovely yarn, which I got at Rhinebeck. They have a booth at Rhinebeck.
Ah,
beautiful. And they have really vibrant colors.
Look at that.
So the BFL is a DK and the Sport is a Sport, obviously. So the gauges are slightly different, but I think they worked out together okay.
Oh, more than okay. More than okay. From our master knitter, we're okay. Nice. I love that.
So I'm very happy with it, and I finished it just in time for summer. As is the case.
So are you going to publish the pattern?
Oh, the pattern's already out.
Okay, with this version?
Yeah.
Okay. Nice. Oh, I love these colors too.
Thanks. Green's one of my favorites.
I know. It looks good on you too. What else I finished? Of course I finished.
Oh, yes. The Lenten Mystery Knit Along.
Of course I finished that.
Yes. I like your colors. Now, this was supposed to be 3 colors, but Jackie.
I added some gray mohair in here.
Yeah.
In this spot and just in this spot.
And
down here in the border just to, give it a little pop.
Yeah.
Now I have to be a little different.
It looks great. I really like it.
I like it.
Yeah.
And this is all leftover yarn.
Woohoo!
Woohoo!
Yep.
Stash buster.
Yeah, mine was the Stash Buster too. This is my version of it. I did it on size 8 needles instead of 7 to try and give it a little more drape.
Nice.
And this is Berroco Blackstone Tweed, which is all stash, but it is all the same yarn.
Yeah.
And I did the standard 3 colors. As far as I know, you're the only one who added a 4th color. Pretty much everybody else did 3.
Oh.
Yep. However, one other person, she changed the border. I'll put a picture of it here.
Okay.
She took out one of these, so she only did one row of this part instead of the second one.
Okay.
And then instead of the garter border, she did a picot edging.
Oh, nice.
All in one color.
That's different.
Yeah.
And this is all Malagrio, except for the black. I think the black is Berroco wool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but all the rest of the colors are Malagrio.
Yeah, I really like your color choices. Very nice.
Leftovers.
Yeah. So what did you think of the whole experience?
I love the whole experience.
Yeah?
And I'm not really a cow person.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'm really not a mystery cow person.
Yeah.
I like to know what I'm going to knit, right?
Yeah.
But because it was you, I decided I was going to do it. And I really did enjoy it. I also enjoyed the scriptures that you had for devotions during the week.
Mm-hmm.
Those were, it actually lined up to my own devotional book that I use with Allsborn. So it was nice.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you.
Oh, sure. And I would love to hear from you as well, what you thought about the knit along. Put your answers in the comments. Let me know. Give me some feedback. And if you at all would be interested in another one, or if you're like, okay, one's enough. So that would be fun. But that's mine as well.
I like that.
Fun and nice and
I know,
warm.
nice and warm.
Yep. You have another thing?
Oh no, well this one, speaking of fixes, that's why I said, why don't you rip that out? Because I did that to this one.
Oh, okay.
This is the So Fade that I did a long time ago. I think it was actually a class again at Purls. And I decided that after wearing it, I wanted it to be longer.
Oh, okay.
So I ripped back up to here.
Okay.
Before this fade.
Uh-huh.
And I added an inch. And then I re-knitted it.
Oh, okay.
The ribbing was supposed to go down 2 needle sizes. I only went down 1.
Mm-hmm.
So now it just kind of hangs.
Yeah.
Which is really cool.
Yeah.
And it'd be great. So I'll get more wear out of it.
So it's called, is that the name of it?
So Faded.
So Faded?
By Andrea Mallory.
Very nice.
You know, it's funny because, I don't like top downs. But this is top down.
Well, and this is top down too.
This is top down, but it's straight needles.
Oh, not in the round.
Okay. This is not in the round. Yeah.
So that makes a difference for you.
Yes, that makes a difference.
Oh, interesting. So why is that?
I'm used to, like, I guess with this one, it was top down, but I think because of the shoulder shaping, I felt that it gave me the right structure. Top down in the round, I sometimes feel like I don't have enough support.
Right. Yeah. Like this one, there's no seams here.
Right, there's no seams.
Yeah.
Right.
But this is fingering. It's very light, so there's not a lot of weight pulling down on it. Whereas this is a heavier.
It's heavier.
Yeah. Plus, it's the length.
Yes.
Adds that much weight to it too.
Yeah. But the shoulder seaming and the continuous kind of gave it structure that it wouldn't have otherwise.
I see. Okay. Good. And I see one other item behind us here.
Oh, that's in progress.
You need to talk about this because you talked about it the last time you were on.
Oh, goodness. And there were like 5 people on the retreat that was wearing theirs completely finished, right? Mine obviously is not finished. I actually took it out because when I was blocking it, I ended up putting my finger through one of the...
Here on the front.
Yeah, through one of the squares right here.
Oopsie.
So I'm going to have to take that out and put a new one in. I think I am going to add 3 more squares on the side so that it's not as fitted. I think on the
here,
right there.
Gonna add more.
Right.
Do you have more already made?
I have some already made. Yes, I do.
And will you fit them in, like just widen the armhole as well?
I'll widen the armhole, or I'll put a gusset in.
Mm-hmm.
Because on the pattern itself, it's more fitted, and everyone that I saw that was wearing it on the retreat, it was kind of fitted to their hips. Mm-hmm. And I was like, I would rather it just hang straight down, because I think that would look better and more flattering. And so I'm like, well, I've got extra squares, so why not do it?
And I see you chose the light blue to do your joining.
I did. Everybody said the light blue.
And I like it.
Right?
Yeah, because I was a little unsure myself.
Me too.
But it sets off the darker squares really well.
Yes, I was unsure. And thanks to everybody, everyone said the blue. And I was still like, really? But I trusted you, and I did it.
Yeah,
and it does look good.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it looks great with the sleeves, too.
It does.
Yeah.
It does. I like it. Uh-huh. And this is luscious. What'd you use for the sleeves?
Yes.
Kidsilk Haze.
Yes.
Is it with something else or just straight?
It's with the blue.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. The blue is less traveled. And
okay.
Obviously that's not in existence anymore either. But yeah, and I added it with Kidsilk.
Oh yeah, it really feels luscious. The sleeves. Yeah. Well,
love it.
You're almost there, and this
almost.
is going to be real. You can wear it next year on the retreat.
I know, that would be great, wouldn't it? That's the plan. That's the plan. That's the plan.
Well, I have one work in progress here. I am using Red Rope Farms Tunis Wool Fingering. And I'm doing a pattern called the Grand Coquelicot by Hel et Zel.
Okay.
I think it's written originally in French.
Okay.
And the translation, it leaves a little bit to be desired. But anyway, this is a top down set in sleeve.
Oh, my kind of sweater.
It's a cardigan.
Oh, nice.
It starts here. See the lateral braid? Right? Okay, so you cast on, you knit a row, and then you do the braid right away. So that's the beginning. And then you knit up and over the shoulder. And then you do the same thing on this side. Start, knit up and over the shoulder. And then you join in the back. And you knit a fair piece. And then here, when you get to this point, then you pick up around the top of the shoulder to start the sleeve. And then you're knitting back and forth all the way around. And so I am past the divide for the armholes, and I'm getting close to the waist here. So it has a built-in edge on the front.
Oh,
which
nice.
Is probably a little hard to see, but this same stitch pattern that is on the back, one of those columns is on the edge of both of the fronts. So,
does it have buttons, or is it just...
It does have buttons, however...
That's so pretty.
The button band in the pattern is an added I-cord loop, which in the pictures I don't like the look of. So what I'm thinking, what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a button band on one side so that it goes under the other side like this.
Yes.
And then this pattern has holes in it. So I'm just going to use some of these holes for the buttons to come through.
Okay.
That's what I'm thinking about doing.
Nice. That's pretty.
It'll be a nice, lightweight, in between seasons
Yeah.
cardigan, which is what
So
I
when
want.
you cast on here,
Yep.
and over here, you are doing your sleeve shaping too.
Yes.
Ah,
Yes.
nice.
So it's kind of, I mean, it's basically raglan because you're increasing on either side of this seam here. From here to like here.
Right.
You're just increasing every other side. And then I knit straight for a little bit, and then you do the same thing at the bottom. You're increasing every other side to form that armhole shaping.
This is nice. I like this pattern.
I added this. It's the body's supposed to be stockinette.
Ah.
But I added this little blip. Just to, my swatch was biasing a little bit in the stockinette. So just by adding the little purl stitches here and there, that got rid of the bias. And plus it adds a little bit of visual interest.
Yeah, it gives you a lot of visual and texture, which is really nice.
Yeah.
And it's not boring. It's all stockinette. It's not stockinette.
For a fingering weight sweater, yeah, you're like,
right.
Makes for good TV knitting, you know. So that's what I am working on. Yep.
I don't have anything in work in progress.
No. You're completely between.
Completely between.
You have one more thing up here.
Oh, well, this one I finished a while ago, but I'm thinking, what is it? It's the Laurel cardigan by Amy Christopherson.
Oh.
And I use Knit Picks Wool of the Andes tweed, and just the black is worsted. It's nice and it's heavy, but I think I want pockets.
Oh, I could see that.
Right. So I'm thinking I'm gonna open this up and then put some pockets in there, and then it's good to go.
All right.
I like the cable that goes all the way around.
Oh yeah, let's show the back.
Yeah, goes all the way around.
Now, do you have a seam in the back? Oh.
There's a seam in the back for here.
Oh, I see.
And then I grafted the cable so there wouldn't be a seam in there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now you knit the cable sideways.
Yep.
Is the whole thing done sideways?
The whole thing. Well, the bottom, the cable, it's from the sleeve.
Okay.
To here.
Oh, okay. So you start here.
You start here.
And work this way.
And work this way.
And then do the same thing on this side.
And then you do the same thing, and then you join here.
Join here.
And then you pick up and you work the
bottom.
The bottom straight down.
Oh, okay. Interesting construction.
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
Well, it'd be super easy to add a pocket to that.
I hope so. I really like the pattern. I think I might do it again, but in a lighter weight yarn.
It is heavy.
It's heavy. Yeah. It's more like a coat.
Yeah.
Which is great for the winter. So then I could just throw it on and not have to worry about putting on a heavy coat, especially when you're running around doing errands in and out of the car. But I think if I'll do it again, I'll make it a little lighter.
Yeah.
For this time of the year.
Right.
Yeah.
It's pretty though.
Yeah.
All that seed stitch.
I know. That's the hard part, is the seed stitch. It looks great, but
it does.
It's very hard on the hands. It's very hard on the hands.
Well, now we can talk about our retreat.
Oh.
So we went to the Lancaster knitting retreat at the beginning of April.
Yes.
Here in 2025. Neither of us had gone before.
No.
And we were really looking forward to it. It's put on by the Lancaster Yarn Shop, which is in Intercourse, Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
And she said this was her 10th year doing the retreat. I sort of only knew about it sort of tangentially. I wasn't even really, and then a mutual friend of ours was like, oh, we should go to the retreat. Well, she ended up not even going, but Jackie and I went, and we met Margie, who's been on the podcast before. She was there as well. Yeah. And we had a really nice time. It was out in Lancaster County.
Yeah. It was a great weekend. I like the fact that everything was there at the hotel. We didn't have to go anywhere. I mean, even for food, there's a restaurant right next to the hotel. So if you wanted to grab dinner or anything, you could just walk over there. It was really nice. I really enjoyed myself.
I did too.
I really did. I didn't learn too much. I shouldn't say that. The first class, we did learn a new trick.
Yes.
We did learn a new trick on how to increase. The class on our therapist, which was really good, because I didn't realize that not only the way we sit and the way we knit, I thought those were the only two things we really had to be concerned about, right? But it's not. It's the type of yarn, it's the type of needle, it's a lot more than what I kind of thought I should be concerned about, you know, so I can continue to knit. Right.
So that was the question that he asked at the end. He said, when do you plan on retiring from knitting? Right? And we're all looking at each other like, never. So he says, well, if you want to knit until you fall over, right, you need to preserve your ability to knit.
Right. And there are some things that we need to do. Other than making sure we get up, making sure we hydrate ourselves and make sure we're sitting correctly. But there's a lot of other things that we need to be concerned about and consider as we continue to knit for hours.
Yeah. So when we first got there, they gave us a little goodie bag, and in it was this little pouch from Blue Sky Fibers. And inside the pouch, I don't have it in here, but there was a little coupon for one free pattern from Blue Sky Fibers,
which was nice.
Yes, which I went and
got a new pattern. And I bought another pattern, so it would,
Oh, here, no, that's not it. Here it is.
There it is. Yeah.
Blue Sky pattern, complimentary pattern from. Complimentary pattern from Blue Sky Fibers. And then,
ooh, that was nice.
Look at this.
Really
beautiful
pretty.
Purple. And so the colorway is called LKR 2025 for Lancaster Knitting Retreat 2025. And it's from Kettle Dye Yarns in Intercourse, Pennsylvania. And then it has her little logo on the back. We are knit together. And we learned that the dyer, which I had no idea. Either. was the yarn shop owner, Wendy. Is her husband. So he does all of this hand-dyed yarn. And we got a skein.
And it's really nice.
Yes, it's luscious.
Luscious.
It is your standard, it's 100% superwash Puntas Arenas merino wool. I don't know what that means.
I don't know what that means either.
It's DK weight, 246 yards and 100 grams. And it's beautiful. Now Margie was there with a group of her friends, and two of them didn't want their skeins, so they gave them to Margie. So she ended up with 3 skeins, and then we also got a gift certificate to spend at the yarn shop. So she ran over there and got herself another skein. So when she knits up her sweater out of this yarn, I'll have to feature her on the podcast. Yeah. But it's really pretty. Beautiful purples.
It is
and
very,
it looks
very
sort
pretty.
of kettle dyed-ish with variations in the color. It's lovely. So then we signed in and we got this little goodie bag, and we went and had dinner, and then we had our first class.
Yeah, we actually started Friday.
Yep,
Friday
right
night.
away, 6 o'clock.
6 o'clock.
Our first class was with Beth Brown-Rensel, and she was teaching Latvian cuffs. I was
Cuffs.
saying Estonia, but
Yeah.
it's not. It's Latvian cuffs was her class. So she taught us 3 different ways to start a cuff on a mitten, and they're all pictured here. There's I don't know what you call that, like a twisted one, and then a diagonal one, and then a scalloped one. So we did 3. And this is my twisted sample, which I mean, we knit it and then we put it on yarn and started the next one, right? So we were like cranking through all of these samples, so we didn't really have a chance to. It's really hard to see,
right?
But it's what you do is you basically knit 3 rows of garter stitch in 3 different colors,
Right?
And then on the 4th row, you twist it around the needle, so it gives you a decorative edge, which is fun.
Right, you take your needles and you actually
move it all the way around.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And this was my favorite, although I didn't finish the cuff. But you didn't like this one.
No, I didn't.
Yeah. And then the next one was the scalloped edge.
Yeah, I like the scallop ones.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, I did the scallop one, which I really liked. Yeah. Hope you can see that.
Yeah.
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 Cool.
And then after we finished that one, she said, "Don't put it on holders yet,
right?
Because I'm going to show you how to do a Latvian braid as well."
Right.
So we did the braid on top of the scallop.
Right.
And then the last one was the diagonal rib. Now this one I actually finished the whole cuff.
Yes, she did.
And see, it fits.
Look.
I just need to make another one to match it.
But I like this part.
And the diagonal rib, it's not really a rib because the purl stitches are actually slip knit, I think.
Slip knit, yeah.
So it sort of looks like a rib, but it's not really a rib. So it's knit 2, and you're making, so it's on the bias, right? So you're making a stitch and then you're decreasing a stitch.
Right.
Knit 2, make a stitch, decrease a stitch to get that diagonal rib, which has a cool look to it. And then that's where we learned the trick.
The trick, right.
Now, if you've ever done any make ones in your life, you've probably run into this situation where you're trying to fish out that running thread between the 2 stitches and you can't find
it.
Depending on what stitch pattern you're using. Sometimes it's easy to find, but sometimes it's not.
Like when this.
Yeah, this after you get past the first row's easy.
Right.
But then after that, you're like, where's my stuff? I can't find it. So she just told us a little trick for how to find that running thread. And all of us, you, me, and Margie, we're all like, well, that was worth the price.
Right, it really was.
That was a neat little trick to learn.
And it's not like it was hard, but it's the fact that it's like, ooh, we should, we could have thought about that, but we didn't. And it was great to learn that and definitely be using it.
Mm-hmm. Yep. In fact, I think I have already used it
since.
We'll
We'll definitely be using it.
Because actually on this, you're supposed to be doing make ones on either side, and it's a make one, slip one, make one. So the thread gets really tight.
Yeah.
And it's helpful in this situation as well.
Yeah, because in this, it does get really tight because you're on a bias. So that's why that trick worked so well. It's like, oh, wonderful. It's always exciting when you learn something new.
Yeah.
And it's easy and you could do it.
Yes. Like almost everything in knitting, once you learn it, you're like, oh. That's not that hard.
Yeah. That was our first class?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So we were done at 9:00 and people were gathering afterwards, and I'm like,
I know. And there was like a social hour, and everybody was still, in the lounge area, knitting, talking about, what they've learned, and just kind of chilling. But yeah, we were tired.
So then Saturday morning, breakfast, like a lot of hotels now, the breakfast is included.
Yes.
But this is not your
No.
standard hotel breakfast.
No, it wasn't. It really wasn't.
This
No.
was a really nice.
It was a really
buffet.
nice full breakfast
Mm-hmm.
with options. With options.
Yep.
And they had someone making
Omelets.
So yeah, it was really nice.
Mm-hmm.
And I love the fact that throughout the whole retreat, there were coffee, water, iced tea, always available to us the whole time.
Yeah. Oh, so I should explain. So there were 3 instructors,
Yes.
and they each taught 3 classes: Friday night, Saturday morning, Saturday afternoon. So each instructor taught the same class 3 times. And then the students
Right.
were divided up into 3 groups. So we had about 20 in our
Yes.
group, and
Yep.
we traveled as a pack from class to class.
Right.
So there were about 60-ish
60-ish.
attendees on
Yeah.
the retreat. And we went, Saturday morning was Kate Atherley.
Yes.
And she was all about altering your knits
Yes.
or don't.
Pick another pattern. It's amazing how many times she said that, because she was like, if you can't find what you're looking for in that particular pattern that you chose, pick another pattern.
Yeah. She's like, if you want to make a worsted weight
Right.
sweater in fingering weight yarn, pick another pattern.
Right. If you don't like that, that sleeve and you want a raglan sleeve, get a pattern with raglan sleeves. I mean, she drilled that into us the whole time.
Yeah.
And because Ravelry is available, maybe 20 years ago it was not. Now we have such a system where we can actually search for a particular sweater style and construction that we want. It's a lot easier to find.
Right. So rather than reinventing the wheel,
Exactly.
just find a pattern that fits your criteria. Yeah.
Yeah.
And even besides Ravelry, there's Pattern Fish
Yes.
and Interweave.
Interweave.
Has an online catalog, and of course Drops.
Right.
All their
Drops.
patterns
All
are
they're free.
Yeah. So with
Yeah.
a little digging,
You can find what you want, and you don't have to worry about altering it.
So she did talk a little bit about altering, and it was mostly like you're so faded.
Yes.
She said, well, it's easy to add length
Right.
or subtract length
Yep.
in the body
In the
and
body
in
and
the
the sleeve.
sleeves also.
Yep.
Yeah. So that was most of her class. And we had a quick lunch, and then on to the next class,
Yeah.
which was Carson Demers.
Carson.
And he gave us a handout called, his company, I guess, is called Ergo I Knit. And he gave us this stretch guide for stretches that you can do.
Right.
And talked all about the ergonomics of knitting. And I guess she did have some books of his for sale at the shop.
At the shop.
But they were sold
were
out.
gone,
And he signed them all for everyone, which is nice.
They were all gone.
Yeah. I read his book out of the library. Did you also?
No, I haven't, but I plan to because of meeting him.
He was really good teacher.
He was a very good teacher. And like I said, it was more than timing ourselves, from sitting for hours. We should not be sitting for hours. We need to time ourselves and get up and stretch, which most of us really do, but there's other things that we need to do.
Yeah.
So I learned a great deal from him.
And he was very entertaining.
He was.
Yeah. Nice to listen to.
He was nice to listen to.
Yeah.
And we actually got up and stretched and did some of the
Yeah.
exercises in the packet that he gave us, which was really helpful. And we could feel the difference
Yeah.
in just those 3 or 4 movements. We can actually feel the difference. So yeah, that was really good. So I do plan on getting his book and reading it and trying to implement some of the things that he instructed us to do, because I do plan on knitting.
Till you drop.
Till I drop. I think my stash will last that long.
Yeah. And then after his class, we had a couple hours of free time.
We did.
And then there was a banquet, which was very nice.
Which was very nice.
Buffet.
Yeah. And we had a speaker for that night,
Mm-hmm.
too.
Kate Atherley did a whole talk to a whole group because she talked about her grandmother, right?
About knitting history.
Yeah.
She did give us a little bit about, how knitting started.
Oh, right.
Yeah. So I think it was more of the history of knitting, where she fit in that process.
Mm-hmm. That was pretty much it for Saturday night, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep. That was it.
And then Sunday morning was this thing called the Knitting Salon.
Yes. After breakfast.
After breakfast. So that was a fun time. Not something that you would get on a standard retreat, I don't think.
No, this was the first knitting retreat that I've ever been on where I was entertained. Saturday, when we had the break.
Oh, right.
There was a musician there that was singing.
Yes.
Same thing happened during the salon. We had musicians that actually sang songs for us. And some of the songs were actually written for us, knitters. So it was really good. It was really good. There's always a fashion show where everyone gets to display their handiwork, but that was really interesting.
And also each of the 3 teachers were there, and they each gave like a little 10 or 15 minute spiel.
Yep.
And it was interesting because Kate Atherley had said, whenever I go places, I never get to hear the other teachers say anything,
right?
Because we're all in our own little silos, teaching our own little things. But at this event, they each got to hear each other talk.
Yes. And they brought up things that they didn't actually speak about in their sessions, which was really nice to hear as a group. And we got to actually touch some of the samples, and it was different. Yeah. And I really enjoyed that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then there was a student of the yarn shop who came in wearing his first ever sweater.
Yes.
And he was part of like a local acting troupe.
Yes.
And there were 2 women with him, and they did some improv sketches. Yes. Yeah.
I'm really, this is the first time we were actually entertained. We had that comedy group that came in, and they asked for ideas, and we threw out ideas, and they actually did an improv right then and there. So that was fun.
Yeah.
That was really fun. And his sweater looked really good on him.
He did, yeah.
Of course, there were giveaways and things like that.
Oh, right. But, yes, there were actually a lot of door prizes.
A lot of door prizes.
So between each little section, she would announce a door prize and pull a number, and you won one of them.
I did. And I even lost my ticket. But my table group figured out what my number was. So I did win a door prize, but it was really good. I really enjoyed it. It's a little different, if you've been on retreats like Vogue knitting and things like that. It's more inclusive. We actually got a chance to sit down and talk to people. Places like Vogue or larger events, you don't get a chance to do that because there's so many people. If you come with your own group, right, so you get a chance to hang out with them. But this gave us an opportunity to actually sit and talk to other knitters, people that we've not met before, we haven't spoken to before, but because we all have that common thing of love of knitting and love of yarn, we got an opportunity to just sit and have breakfast with somebody else, or sit and have lunch with someone else, and so that gave us a great opportunity to feel like we were all connected for the weekend. And it wasn't a really large crowd, so we got it was nice.
Yeah, like her we are knit together.
Right. Yeah. So I'll go again.
Yeah, I think we're pretty much committed.
Yeah, I will definitely go again.
Although it sold out quickly.
Oh, duh. I almost didn't make it.
Yeah.
Simply because the newsletter came out, and a week later it was sold out. I ended up getting on a waiting list a week after the newsletter.
Yeah.
I was like, sold out already? I couldn't believe it.
Right. Yeah.
when Joy asked me, and I contacted them, they were already sold out. So yes, so if you plan to go, soon as that newsletter is hit, and make sure you're on the mailing list, you have to sign up. And now I understand why, because space is limited.
Yeah. But it did kind of sound like she was surprised herself that it sold out so quickly.
Yeah.
So maybe for some reason this year, whether it was the teachers or something about this year, that people jumped on it.
They sure did, and it was sold out. So I had to wait a couple weeks before I was able to get in.
And I'm so glad you did.
Me too.
Yeah.
I called her and said, I got it! So I had to wait a couple weeks, and someone actually canceled. So I was able to, Wendy called and said, hey, I'm on a waiting list, so you're the first one. You can get in. I'm like, okay. So obviously I wasn't the only one trying to get in.
Yeah.
And I had heard about this retreat a couple years ago because a fellow coworker from Purls of Wisdom had went to their retreat, and that year they actually dyed yarn during that weekend. And she came home with about 8 skeins of yarn that she dyed. So she was really thrilled about that. Yeah.
Fun.
And I said, I wish I had known about that one.
So it sounds like she changes it up.
She changes it up.
Yeah, it's not the same thing every year.
Right.
Yeah.
Not that I really want to get into dyeing, but it would be nice to dye.
Just for fun, to try it.
To try it and dye my own yarn. But that was a great time.
Yeah.
Food was great. People were great. Activities were great.
Well, that's about it for us today. Don't forget to comment about the mystery knit along. And I do have some footage at the end from the retreat that I will tack on.
Great.
So thanks for joining us. Thank you for coming on, Jackie.
No problem. I love it. It is great seeing you guys again.
Yep. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Your love is nice, precious pearl. We're knit together in our heart. Your love is nice, precious pearl. We're knit together in our heart. Your love is nice, precious pearl. We're knit together in our heart. Your love is nice, precious pearl. We're knit together in our heart. Your love is nice, precious pearl. We're knit together in our heart. Your love is nice, precious pearl. We're knit together in our heart. Your love is nice, precious pearl. We're knit together in our heart. Your love is nice, precious pearl. We're knit together in our heart. Your love is nice, precious pearl. We're knit together in our heart. Your love is nice, precious pearl. We're knit together in our heart. Your love is nice, precious pearl. We're knit together in our heart. Your love is nice, precious pearl. We're knit together in our heart. Your love is nice, precious pearl. We're knit together in our heart. Your love is nice, precious pearl We're knit together in our heart. this pattern calls for us to never be apart.
Leftover sock yarn with a crochet edging on it.